What's going on, guys? One love out to everybody. We got UFC 228, Błachowicz versus Ankalaev prediction breakdown here, guys. Before I get started, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to this channel. Also, check my Patreon account for all the face-up prediction and prop plays. Also, you can donate to my PayPal account, which a link will be down below. All right. This is a tough card here, guys. Very tough card. This could be the toughest card for the year for me to break down and predict. I mean, it's the matchups are kind of tight, man. It's, you know, either one of these guys can actually win. I have no confident play here. It's just very tough card, man. The matchups, a lot of guys fall off, and there's a couple short notice fights too. So you gotta be careful of that one. We're gonna jump into this real quick. Not gonna spend too long here, guys. First fight, we got Cameron Saaiman versus Steven Koslov. Cameron here is a pretty young kid, not that much experience. I believe he's like 21. Seems slightly green still, but his striking is not bad. I have more of a Kyokushin, kind of a karate base on him. Very unorthodox techniques. His ground game is not bad either. He fights well in the pocket. You know, he walk you down and throw a lot of combination, more boxing in the pocket, and he fights long range with his kicks. And his takedown defense and his ground game is not bad. His opponent here, Steven is a short notice here, man. But I wouldn't sleep on Steven, because I can guarantee that Steven is an underdog here. It's just short notice, very straightforward pressure. He walks you down. He will look for the takedown. He will look for the submission. I think that's his thing. All his wins are by sub. And this guy here is a grinder, man. But again, you look at Cameron. Cameron has a good stand-up game, and he has ground game also. So I'm gonna go for Cameron, guys. But man, like I said, this card here, be very careful with it. I'm not confident in all these players here, guys. This is a tough card, man. You play at your own risk here. I must say Cameron, man. I must say Cameron by decision. But I'm not confident in this fight here. Both guys are kind of, you know, they're kind of slightly green still, you know, and it's not something that you want to mess around with and parlay too much with, because, you know, Steven could win, you know what I mean? I believe Cameron here is teammates, or he trains with Dricus du Plessis. You know what I'm saying? I believe he trains with him. So, which they're from the same South Africa, so. Right, so yeah, I'm gonna say Cameron here, but like I said, I'm not confident. I'm gonna say Cameron by decision and play at your own risk. Next fighter, we got Eric Silva versus TJ Brown. Eric Silva here is very aggressive, man, and his stand-up is not bad actually. It has kind of like a Kyokushin, kind of a karate base on him. Look for the openings, spinning back kicks, but his ground game is, you know, is where he usually shines at. He gets it down and he submits you, ground and pound you. He has a rare naked choke on him. He's just loose with it. So in my opinion, he's not really a bad fighter. And those both guys are coming after the Contender Series. You know, even the last opponent they talk about, Cameron, is coming after the Contender Series. But again, man, you know, Eric, you know, is like, I don't believe it's a short notice. Is he a short notice fight? No. But you look at a guy like TJ Brown, his opponent, that, you know, TJ Brown is very well-rounded guy. You know, he has a ground game, his striking is not bad, but he can drop the ball though, and I feel TJ Brown has the more experience, which he does have the more experience, and his takedown defense is not too bad, and he just fought more type of competition, you know. Eric Silva hasn't really fought nobody really, you know what I mean, and but TJ Brown, he slows down and he will drop the ball, you know, and look at a guy like Eric, kind of loose with it, kind of light in the foot, you know. His takedown defense his takedown game is not bad, and his submissions is where he shines. This is the next one here too, guys, man. I mean, I could see Eric winning this fight, man, to be honest with you, but I'm just not confident in picking him. I'm gonna go with TJ Brown, guys, but again, Eric could win. I must say TJ Brown by decision, guys, but I am not confident in this play either, man. I ain't confident. But TJ Brown by decision. Like I said, TJ Brown dropped the ball, and the way how Eric strike, his striking ain't bad. He's kind of loose with it. You know what I mean? But I'm looking at this fight more of experience kind of wise, and Eric can't really fight nobody. I mean, who has Eric fought? Nobody. I mean, age is a number too. You know, it's 35, but you know, age is a number. It doesn't really, you know what I'm saying? It just depends on how you take care of yourself. You know what I mean, and your skills. And he does have a skill. TJ Brown, I must say, by decision, not confident. Next fighter, we got Billy Quarantillo versus Alexander Hernandez. Billy is pretty well-rounded guy too here, man. Keeps pressure on you. We look for the submission. He will strike with you. I felt that he won his fight against Burgos. I don't feel Burgos won that fight, but it is what it is though. His opponent to Hernandez. Hernandez is I mean, he's a well-rounded guy, more of a wrestler base, but he's hittable though, and he can get taken down and he will break under pressure. Usually with Alexander Hernandez here, he has to be coming forward if he wants to win the fight. When he's going backwards, he doesn't do well. So if you're pressuring him, he does not do well. He's a guy that comes forward, and when he's coming forward, he's confident, but then he can get clipped, he can get hurt. And when he gets hurt, he loses confidence, and then he can gas out, and then he start backpedaling, and then you can take him down and ground and pound him. So this is a guy here you really can't trust. At least with Billy, Billy will keep the pace, and Billy won't give up. So I'm gonna go with Billy here, man. I'm gonna say Billy Quarantillo by KO TKO in the 3rd round, and I'm not confident either, guys. Because Hernandez, if he chooses to come forward and he can, you know, weather the punches from Billy, and you know, maybe get some takedowns and continue doing the same thing over and over again, and just keep the pace and takedowns. He may can win, but I just see Billy just tagging him up, tagging him up, back him up against the cage and land strikes, and possibly can take him out. So I got Billy KO TKO 3rd round. I'm not confident. Next fighter we got Chris. We got Chris Curtis versus Joaquin Buckley. Oh man, this whole card is tough, guys. Chris Curtis here is known for his boxing. Takedown defense is pretty good, man. He got good takedown defense. Can get flat-footed at times, but this guy's a veteran, man. He's a very skilled fighter, man. And I feel he's more experienced than Joaquin Buckley by far. This guy was in PFL. Mostly in PFL, mostly more known. CS. I feel like he's a more well-rounded guy here, and the more experienced guy. Joaquin Buckley is known for his power, but Chris has mad power too, man. But then with Joaquin Buckley here, you know, his ground game has gotten better. And his all-around game has gotten better. He's started to mix up a little bit better now. You know, he will look for takedowns. You know, he will stay at range instead of just rushing in and striking. He would stay at range and kind of set up his techniques from the outside. And like I said, he will look for the takedowns. But, you know, his more thing here is just to rush in and throw overhand and try to take your head off. I'm liking Chris Curtis, man. I just feel Chris Curtis, if it comes to the boxing, I feel like Chris Curtis is he's all around better fighter in my opinion. And I feel like Chris Curtis is a little bit more technical with the hands. Joaquin Buckley can get wild and sloppy. You know what I'm saying? Like again, Chris Curtis can get flat-footed, and Joaquin Buckley may move around a little more light on the foot. So you gotta be careful of this one, guys. But I'm gonna say Chris Curtis by KO TKO in the 3rd. But again, I'm not confident in this one either, guys. All right, because Buckley could get a win just by moving around. And we saw with Chris Curtis when he fought Jack Hermanson, he was so flat-footed. Jack Hermanson was just moving around, kicking his legs and jabbing him up from the outside. But again, Jack Hermanson was, I believe, a taller guy with longer reach. I believe. Yep. But I'm going to go with Chris Curtis. I'm going to say Chris Curtis by KO TKO in the 3rd round, and I'm not confident. Edmen Shahbazyan versus Dalcha Lumbula. Man, these are tough fights, guys. Edmen, he's a well-rounded guy. He's skilled, but he seems to fade as the fight goes on, right? So he will be winning the fight. Then all of a sudden he's just start get tired, and then I don't know. He just doesn't do good in the second and third, and then he can end up losing the fight. You know what I mean? He's back to 3 losses in a row, and all the fights here is exactly what happened. He just seems to be looking good, then all of a sudden he just start fading. You know what I mean? So he's not a guy you can really trust like that to win fights, man. His opponent here, Dalcha, again, the same thing. He's a very heavy hitter guy, man. Comes straight forward, pack mad power. But then he will give it 100%, blitzing and sprinting, and then he does the same thing. If he can't get you out in the first, then he gasses out, and then he's done. You know what I mean? Or he gets finished in the first. Tough one to call here, man. I must say Edmen is more the composed guy. I think with Dalcha Bula, he's a little bit kind of wild. Can get sloppy at times. So I'm gonna pick Edmen Shahbazyan for more of the jabs and follow up, and more of a technical kind of base on him, and kind of will slow the fight down and keep it in the range he wants to. So I'm gonna go with Edmen for those kind of reasons there, guys. So Edmen Shahbazyan by first round KO TKO, but I'm not confident at all either, man. This one is crazy. This is a crazy matchup here, man. Because I could see Dalcha Lumbula winning the fight. He come in there first round and catch Edmen overhand, or just take down Edmen, because I believe Dalcha has a judo background. So just but I must say Edmen Shahbazyan though. But I'm not confident. KO TKO first round. Oh my goodness. Jairzinho Rozenstruik, I don't know how to mispronounce that, versus Chris Dakos. Gosh, guys, man, they're killing me with this one. Rozenstruik here is kind of one-dimensional, man. I mean, he can get taken down. His ground game gets slightly better, but he can get taken down. But he pack power, and when he throws and he lands, he knocks you out. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's basically it with Chris Dakos, man. I mean, just like his brother, man. These guys are, I mean, like I said, I'm not here to talk bad about any of these fighters. I'm just breaking the fight how I see it. I mean, he's a skilled guy and he's well-rounded, BJ black belt, but he's hittable though. That's the whole thing. He's hittable, and that's it. And he's not durable. So if he gets if our Rozenstruik connects and his jaw is over, that's it. He's gonna get knocked out. I mean, and I feel Rozenstruik is a quicker fighter here, and even though Chris Dakos could get the fight to the ground, he doesn't have any by submissions. He doesn't have no finishes by submissions. He making ground and pound, but oh man, he making ground and pound for a win, but which is very possible. He has 11 by knockout, 0 by submission, so he could take down Rozenstruik in ground and pound, but I don't know, guys, man. I just feel this is a fight for Rozenstruik to win, man. I mean, just like his other brother, the Chris Dakos, or his other brother who just fought. He just fought last week. Kyle Dakos. I mean, these guys are not durable. They get touched and they go out. And sometimes they go for shoot for takedown and they don't get it, and they can't hold the opponent down. And then implement the ground game properly. So I don't know. I must say Rozenstruik here, guys. KO TKO first round. I'm not confident, but I mean, we'll see what happens. Again, he could go for Chris Dakos could go for takedown and look for submission. That's possible, but man, tough card, guys. Rozenstruik KO TKO first. Not confident. Jay Perrin versus Raul Rosas Jr. Oh my goodness. Jay Perrin here is not really a bad fighter, man. This guy's pretty experienced, man. If you look at his record here, for some decent guys, even though he lost, but he's not like a bad fighter. He has a ground game, a submission game, and his striking is not bad, but he can get backed up against the cage though. That's the thing. And you can keep him in the clinch, and once you have him in the clinch, you can go for takedowns. His opponent here, Raul Jr, is like I guess he's a big prospect. I guess. I mean, he's a young guy. He's 18 years old, you know, but his thing is mostly the grappling, you know. His submission games is mostly his thing. Like majority of all his wins are by submission. I mean, he's come up the Contender Series. He's not very experienced, man, at all. I mean, the more experienced guy here is definitely Jay Perrin, even at a 10-6 record. The only thing about this fight is that Perrin can get backed up, and his punching power is not like a one-hitter quitter, man. So it's not like he possessed like heavy hands, man. He only got 2 by knockout, and he got 4 by submissions. So more the submission decision is more his thing. And he's falling into the submission game then with Raul. Raul has 4 by submission too. So it's not like he's like a one-hitter quitter, you understand? And the fight usually end up in the clinch. So I'm going to go with Rosas Jr. Raul Rosas Jr. But be careful with this one, guys, because we see, you know, guys from Contender Series are coming in. You know, they're making a debut and they're not too experienced, man. Even though there's a hype on him, you know, he's like, you know, he's gonna be like a champion, or he's like a, you know, like what they call it. He's like the new age, or you know, the new upcomer guy. You know, he's like a big prospect. But Perrin is, you know, you can't sleep on Perrin, man. Experience goes a long way, guys. I'm gonna pick Rosas Jr., but zero confidence in this one at all, man, because like I said, Perrin could win, so be very careful. I must say Rosas Jr. by decision, but I'm not confident. All right. Next fight here we have Bryce Mitchell versus Ilia Topuria. This is a good fight here, man. This is a good fight. Bryce Mitchell, man, in my opinion, is a pretty well-rounded guy, man. His striking is coming along. His ground game is where he shines, and he's very experienced. Strong ground and pound, and he has fought stand-up guys, good stand-up guys too. Stand-up guys like Edson Barboza, Andre Fili, you know what I mean. I think those are probably one of the toughest guys he fought there, but those are good strikers. His opponent here, Topuria, though. He's well-rounded too, and he's a skilled guy, heavy-handed though. His ground game is good too, but I feel Bryce Mitchell's ground game is better. But he has heavy hands though. The experience though goes to Mitchell though, man. And because if you look at Topuria's record, you know, Jay Herbert, Ryan, he really maybe Damian Jackson, but he's like I said, with Topuria, he's very heavy-handed. But if you see him with Zal and Jay Herbert, he had problems in that fight. In Jay Herbert, he got hurt by a roundhouse to the face, a kick, and he got knocked down. He almost got finished in that fight. And against Zalal, there was a grappling kind of there was a scrambling moment in that fight where Zalal was getting control of him. And if you see little holes like that, you know what I'm saying, that's something where it's like, okay, so those are little holes he have there. So against Mitchell, I don't really see no weakness in Mitchell. I see weakness in Topuria though. And also cardio. I see weakness in Topuria in the cardio too. But this is a guy that will come back though, and then he will win, and he will finish you. But again, experience, and I see weakness in him. Just from certain guys, I see him fight. So I'm gonna go with Mitchell here, man. I must say Mitchell by decision. Am I confident in this fight? This is a tough one. This is a kind of an even fight, guys, almost. Because like I said, with Topuria, he's not bad, but I feel Mitchell is more experienced, and there's not much holes in Mitchell. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of weakness in Mitchell. I see weakness in Topuria. So it's kind of a slight, kind of a confident pick. But I must say Bryce Mitchell by decision. Next fight here, guys, we got Darren Till versus Dricus du Plessis. Sorry, guys. Dricus du Plessis. All right. Damn. My bad, man. Du Plessis. All right. I'm trying to pronounce my words perfectly. Till here, man. Darren Till, striking base. Can get taken down. Can get ground and pounded. Will get submitted. He hasn't fought since 2021, man. That's a while he hasn't fought. His opponent here, Du Plessis. Du Plessis is pretty well-rounded guy, man. Strong striking base, kind of like a karate, like a Kyokushin kind of vibe with him. Very unorthodox, man, you know. Sometimes he rides his chin high though, but I don't know. He goes in there, he takes hits and just keep coming. And his ground game, he shines in the ground, man. He has more submissions than knockout finishes. So he's very well-rounded guy. I feel he's more well-rounded than Till. But Till is more of a counter fighter, and that's the thing about this fight here. If Du Plessis come in there with his chin high, he could get countered because sometimes Du Plessis would rush in, throw shots, and just kind of leave his chin out there. And Darren Till could counter him, but I don't know, man. I feel Du Plessis is going to push the ground game in this one. I really can't trust Darren Till, man. It's just, he's a guy where, if he's winning, like I said, if he's leading the fight and he's pushing forward and he's countering, he's good. But once you start taking him down and punching him up and, kind of slowly break him down, he doesn't recover well. He doesn't do well. So I'm going to go with Du Plessis here, guys. I'm going to say Du Plessis by submission, second round. But I'm not confident in this one because Darren Till, like I said, with Du Plessis, he runs in a lot and throws punches. His chin is high. Darren Till does slide back a little bit or go angle, bam. Then it could be lights out. But we see with Du Plessis, the next thing too, with Du Plessis, he's very durable. He's very durable, man, and he doesn't break under pressure. Till is not durable, and he will break under pressure. That's the one thing in this fight. And Du Plessis will push for takedowns, and most likely against Till, he will get it. So I'm going to go with Du Plessis here. I'm going to say Du Plessis, submission, second round. Next fighter, we got Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Alex Morono. Ponzinibbio, a very rounded guy, BJJ black belt, I believe. Is a heavy hitter. He's a veteran guy, but hasn't been looking good, man, in this fight. Even though he lost by split decisions, though, he took some time off. I believe a staph infection last fight. Was back in 2022, but in 2018, and then he ain't fought in a long while. 2019, 2020, damn, he ain't fighting a minute. Then he come back in 2021, he got knocked out. He just hasn't looked good, Alex, he was supposed to be Robbie Lawyer fighting him, but Robbie Lawyer, what happened to him? Lawyer got injured, so he's out of the fight. So Alex Morono jumped in there, but I believe it's a catch weight, not 179. Alex Morono here is very well-rounded guy too. Just short notice, he's a BJJ black belt. Striking is not bad. It's a short notice, but Alex Morono been looking good and is active. The times that Ponzinibbio took off, Alex Morono was working and training and winning fights, even losing, but at least he was active. Short notice for him, but I'm liking what I see from Morono. When I watch how Santiago looks now, looks kind of slow, it's kind of hittable. You can catch him with punches. And Alex Morono is improving. He's been getting better and better every fight. Even if he loses one, he comes back better and better. With Santiago, he looks like he's fading. Like he doesn't look like he's progressing in his fights. Even when he loses, he just doesn't look like he's progressing. He just stays the same. I'm gonna go with Morono here. I'm gonna say Morono by decision. I'm not confident because of short notice, and like I said, the short notice fights, you don't know how the guy gonna turn up. But I'm gonna say Morono by decision, but I'm not confident. All right. Next fighter we got Paddy Pimblett versus Gerard Gordon. Oh man, Paddy Pimblett here gonna have the speed advantage. Grappling base, submission games is pretty good. Striking has improved a little bit, but his chin is still high up, man, and he throws his punches are running and his chin is higher up. Kind of a suspect striking, but his main thing is his submission and his ground game. Take you down, scrambling is good, and he will look for rear naked chokes and stuff like that. Against opponent Gordon, though, I think this fight is probably you know, this fight is set for him to win, kind of. I mean, Gordon's a veteran, though. You can't sleep on Gordon. Gordon's a very experienced guy, but he's not durable, though, man. He ain't durable. And if he gets touched in the chin, he could get knocked out. Be knocked out 4 times. It's kind of slow at the movement. In the beginning, I was kind of going for Gordon, but once you start watching fights and footages, you're like, oh, man. You know, Paddy going to have the mad speed advantage. Even the striking is just this quicker guy. And Gordon, even on the takedown and scrambles, you know, Paddy is a quicker guy scrambling. Gordon is just slow at the movement, man. It's difficult to pick him. And like I said, some of these fights are set for the guy to win, especially Paddy, because he's more marketable, and the UFC love him, man. You know, he has a big following, I guess. So, yeah, I must say Paddy, but I'm not confident because Gerard has experience. Paddy has experience too, but I feel, man, I don't know, man. It's just the speed advantage, man. It's hard to see Jordan, you know, Jordan. It's hard to see Gordon winning, kind of speed advantage. It's just, you know, even in the scrambling, I think Paddy's just a quicker guy. Yeah, I must say Paddy, but I'm not confident, guys. And like I said, Gordon could win, so be careful, right? Oh, Paddy by KO TKO, guys, in the first round. It could be ground and pound too. Next fighter, we got Błachowicz versus Magomed Ankalaev. One here, very well rounded guy, BJ black belt, heavy striker. He's a veteran. He's a very experienced guy, man. I mean, guy been in there with Relic, Dam, Glover Teixeira, Israel Asano, Zamani Reza. I mean, he fought everybody in that division. His opponent here, Ankalaev, very well-rounded guy too, wrestling base, some boy, heavy striking, wrestling is good, and this guy doesn't have much weakness, man. The only time he lost was to Paul Craig, when he beat Paul Craig basically in the last, look at that, the last couple of seconds, the last little point of the rounds, he got triangle choke, which Paul Craig submits everybody, so that's not a surprise. Yeah, so I'm liking Magomed Ankalaev for this. Yeah, I just feel like Ankalaev is quicker guy here, has a lot more tools in the striking department. His wrestling is good, takedown defense is good. I mean, one, you know, has a good ground game too, but you know, with Ankalaev, you know, he's pretty good everywhere, man. You know what I mean? And he's quick at it. So I'm gonna go with Magomed Ankalaev by decision. And yeah, I'm slightly confident. I would say my 2 confident plays here would be Ankalaev and Bryce Mitchell. Yeah. Somebody gotta go with Bryce Mitchell and Toporo. Somebody gotta go. So that's it right there, guys. Quick look at the odds. So we're working with crazy odds. One look at the odds and you can. All right. Crazy odds, man. Oh my goodness, Cameron is negative 325, man, against Steven Loslow. Like I tell you guys, this fight right here, man, dog or pass, man, because these guys are not that experienced, and they're coming from Contender Series, and this guy Steven is short notice. You don't want to parlay the Cameron guy in parlays and like, oh man, 300 is gonna win, because Steven could win, man. Be careful. He could get a submission. This Steven guy is known for submitting. Be careful with this one, man. I disagree with the odds. It's kind of crazy. Eric Silva and TJ Brown even fight. Okay, I could see that happening, because I could see Silva actually winning the fight too. Like I said, I'm picking TJ Brown just for more experience, and he's well-rounded. And Eric making his debut here. TJ Brown should probably get the win here, but like I said, Eric Silva's kind of light on the foot. You know what I'm saying? His movement's kind of unorthodox, and he has a good ground game. So I'm going with TJ Brown, but still be careful. It's an even fight. Alexander Hernandez, Billy Quarantillo. Billy is 170. I don't disagree with that. I feel Billy should win this fight. The odds is not too bad in him, but still be careful. Chris Curtis is negative underdog? Really? Against Buckley? That's interesting. I'm liking Chris Curtis though, guys. Again, Buckley could win though, because very athletic guy, moves around, maybe a little quicker than Curtis. But I don't mean Curtis can't catch him, though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I'm liking Chris Curtis. But, like I said, be careful with this one. Like I said, Chris Curtis is underdog, so it is what it is. But I'm liking Chris Curtis, though. Dalcha and Edmen Shahbazyan, what the hell? Shahbazyan is 200, 300 and something, man. That's madness, man. That's crazy right there, guys. Man. Edmen and Dalcha should be an even fight. There's no way Edmen is 200 and 300 or something. Nah, man. Be careful with this one. I wouldn't parlay Edmen in anything, really. You'll probably dog or pass on this one, guys. Be careful with it, man. Because Dalcha, you could just land one good shot. Or Dalcha could come in here and pin up Edmen against the cage and use his judo and just punch him up a little bit and take him down and pepper him up with shots. And then Edmen breaks under pressure, and then that's it. And Dalcha could win the fight. I disagree with the odds. Careful with it, guys. Jay Perrin and Raul Rosas. Raul Rosa. Damn. It's high as hell too, man. Man, I know the guy's a prospect, and you know what I'm saying, he's like, there's a lot of hype on him though, but he's fighting a guy like Jay Perrin who's very experienced. Raul, he ain't fighting nobody. You know what I'm saying? For him to be negative 240, 250 coming off the contender series, and he ain't fighting nobody. And Jay Perrin has shown that he could hang with tough guys in the UFC and didn't get finished. He went to a decision. I would dog or pass this one too, guys, man. Be careful with this one. The Raul guy, yeah, his wrestling and his submission game is decent. But at 200 and something, man, don't party this guy in too much things at all. Like I said, dog or pass. Be very careful, man. This entire card, be careful, man. Chris Dacos and Rozenstruik. Rozenstruik is 175. Nah, this is an even fight here, guys. Because Chris Dacos, if he can manage to get takedowns, he will win the fight. Basically, if Chris Dacos come in here, don't strike and go for takedowns and happen to get it and ground and pound, Chris Dacos is going to win. It just depends if he can or not. If he's able to do it and don't get caught while he's doing it. Because if he get caught, he's not durable. And he can get knocked out. That's the whole thing about this fight, man. So this is an even fight, basically. So this one again, man, do not put this Rozenstruik guy in too much things, man. Dog or pass too, man. Or put one parlay or something with him and just dog or pass it. I don't know. But the odds on Rozenstruik is too damn high. It should be even. Be careful. Darren Till and Plessis. Dricus du Plessis. Till could win. The odds on Plessis is not too bad, but Till could win because, like I said, with Plessis, sometimes he runs in, his chin is high, but the guy is durable though, man. I mean, he gets some hits and he get hurt and he still recover. Like I said, Till hasn't been fighting, and from what I see from Till, it just doesn't look good. And Plessis is durable, Till is not. So odds not too bad, but still be careful. Alex Morono and Santiago. Santiago is 170, 190. I mean, it's a short notice for Morono. I mean, I could see why, but I'm liking Morono for the window. I just feel with Santiago, Ponzinobo is kind of, he's declined and he's not really going up. It's kind of like just going down and down. With Alex Morono, he's improving consistently. You know what I mean? So I'm liking Alex Morono. He's underdog. Hey, that's great. Gerard Gordon, Paddy Pimblett. Damn, Paddy Pimblett is freaking super high too, man. And Gerard Gordon is a more experienced guy than me, man, but it's a speed advantage. Gordon is slow at the movement, man. He's very slow at the movement. He doesn't recover well. He's not durable. He gets hurt easy. He doesn't recover. His scramblings are slow, and if Paddy starts scrambling him and get his back, most likely he can get a submission. Most likely, which I think that's what do I actually have that? Do I have it by submission? I have it by KO TK in the first. But I think Gordon been submitted one time though. But he's not durable though. Like he's been knocked out four times. The odds on Pimblett is slightly a little too high. But I feel that Paddy Pimblett should win because of just speed advantage. Scramblings are quick. You know, I feel like his speed advantage, timing is probably a little more quicker. Gordon is slow at the movement, man. From his last fight I watched, he was slow in that fight, man. It's like he telegraphed everything. So, yeah, but still be careful, you know. One Błachowicz, Ankalaev. Ankalaev is 340. I don't really see nothing wrong with this. I feel like Ankalaev is good everywhere, man. These guys are proven guy, man. He's, you know, I don't really see much holes in him, you know, other than the Paul Craig fight where he got caught. But anybody can get caught by submission. But then he was in Paul Craig's guard like usual. You know, I've seen him can outstrike one. I've seen him can even out-grapple one if he really wants to. So, and his cardio is pretty decent. Yeah, so I don't really disagree with the odds, but still be careful. Yeah, guys, that's about it right there. That's my breakdown, odd breakdown prediction. Yeah, be careful with this card, man. This is and I need to be careful if I'm gonna do anything, which I don't know yet. But be careful with it, man. It's wow. This is a tough one. This is the toughest card I've ever brought down and predicted in a long time, man. I mean, every fight I gave you could go the opposite direction, to be honest with you. You know, the Chris Dacos and the Rozenstruik, definitely. Perrin and Rosa, definitely. Dalcha and Edmen, definitely. Chris Curtis and Buckley, definitely. Eric Silva and Brown, definitely. And Cameron and Steven, for sure. Just never know, man. And it's possible, not guaranteed, guys. Guys, keep on kicking. One love out to everybody. And us.